job has been, in the last couple of years, to reinvigorate an Indonesia board, to engage the staff and the board in a strategic planning process that would lead to a clear vision for the future for Indonesia, make sure that the program is on sound financial footing and is sustainable, and to build a team to carry out the work that we know in Indonesia is so critically important to our global mission. And I'm happy to report that in all of those cases he gets high marks. He's really hit the ball out of the park in a lot of those areas. So that's really exciting, and we're happy to have a chance today to talk for about an hour with Pak Rizal. He's going to talk for about 15 or 20 minutes, give you a bit of an overview, and then we'll just have a conversation. And you all are welcome to be a part of that conversation. I'll ask a few questions to start it off, but those of you on the line and in the room can also be a part of it. So, Pak Rizal, off to you. Tell us what you've got going.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you for the introductions. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining the WebEx. So my name is Rizal. I want to share with you all just the high level of the Indonesia program strategic initiatives, where we are now and what we are going to do in the next couple of years. In fact, what are the goals, the business goals and conservation goals for the fiscal year 15 to fiscal year 20. Please provide us your feedback, inputs to strengthen our strategic initiatives for Indonesia. So let me just begin with just to show you of Indonesia programs, where it is, where the programs are. It's really spread out. We have, from one end to the other end, it's really it's a big country. 75% of them is waters, 25% is land. The terrestrial program is currently focused in, if you see the dot with the red line, it's in East Kalimantan. We've been working there for 10 years, and the blue dots are our marine and fisheries program, and there are yellow dots, which is the new set of initiatives that we are currently working with. It's going to be working with and through partners. A project is going on now in West Kalimantan. We've started scoping and assessment in Riau as well in Aceh, the northern Sumatra in the Loiser ecosystem. Indonesia programs in numbers. So we have three main programs: terrestrial, marine, and fisheries. Right now we have about 98 staff, but we plan in FY16 additional staff makes it to be 105 staff across the offices. There are 8 offices across the programs. There are 9 sites, and the total area that is managed effectively, the terrestrial program is managing 2.9 million hectares. The marine program is managing 5.5 million hectares of marine protected area, which is a big chunk of the government targets of 20 million hectares, which now they only achieve 16 million hectares, and TNC is able to support 5.5 million hectares of it. And a big numbers of partners supporting the programs, from communities, universities, CSOs, private sectors, and so forth. And we operate annually with a $10 million budget for FY16. It's an increase of about 17% because of our new program in the sustainable palm oil, which is just about to kick off right now. In the last 2 years, like Charles has mentioned, we tried to reinvigorate the program. So the last 2 years is just really trying to align everybody to one direction, starting with the mission, vision, getting our goals, objective right. So it's a cycle. It's a continuous cycle of getting better, organization, alignment, and so forth. Now, I think the last 2 years, we have created a very strong foundation and that everybody is ready and geared towards transformational change in the next 2 years. So what we'll do in the next 2 years, starting with a strong foundation, we're going to be detailing our charting the course for the next 5 years, where the terrestrial program is going to go, marine and fisheries. Plus, we're adding a new program on climate. We're going to be detailing all the strategies, making sure that everybody is aligned. We're going to be embarking on a very robust project management. If we want to grow, I think the team in Indonesia agreed that we need a really good project management skill and system. There are a lot of capacity gaps within the program, and we have identified those, and we have the plan on how we want to close those gaps. Financial sustainability is high on our plan. Everything we do must support our plan for financial sustainability. The last two is really something that our board is really anxious, really demanding us to share with them what are our program effectiveness. If you said that you are managing the landscape and seascape effectively, what are the measurements? How can we provide periodic measurements on that? So that's one of the things that we are going to be embarking on. We have set the roadmap for that. We have the plan for that, and we have the people and the team to make sure that's happening. And the last thing is about the program impact. That's something that is on the radar as well, that we plan to prepare, not doing it, but prepare for the next 2 years on how we will be embarking on that. So those are the next 2 years of the things that we want to do. We have also a management team. I think this is very important so that everybody is focused and geared to the same aspiration as the leadership team in Indonesia. So FY 14-15, reinvigorating the team, meaning that we want to do things better. Now FY 15 is almost finished. We are going to be starting in FY 16 soon. So how do we get better at doing it best, even more better? So we want to make sure that all our system is enhanced to make sure that we do things best. Also meaning that we want to leverage all the things that we do with and through partners. Not doing things our own, but really building up capacity of our partners on the grounds, so that we can also engage other opportunities, big conservation gain across Indonesia, and so forth. In FY 18-19, doing things even more better, doing it great, and until FY 20, that we want to be the leading organization in Indonesia. So this is the mindset that the team is going to be geared towards in the next 5 years. We have this strategy statement for the Indonesia program. Everything we do will fall under the strategy statement. It's essentially transforming practices, influencing policies by leveraging our science-based tools, demonstrations, methodologies that we have done on the ground. And below it, we also identified what we will do and what we will not do. For example, that there is no such thing as doing ad hoc projects. Everything has to be something for the long term and have huge, significant impact. We want to make sure that all new initiatives, even current initiatives, we are converting it to working with and through partners, and so forth. So this strategy statement will identify where we will play and how to win on the grounds and even influencing policies. I'd like to share with you our current pictures of the Indonesia programs, because we have the strengths and opportunities, but let me just highlight some of the weaknesses, I think it's relevant to most of our programs that most of our funding is restricted. 90, even more than 90% is restricted. Limited funding. We need also programmatic innovation to be able to scale. We need monitoring accountability system. TNC brand presence visibilities in the regions is very low, and we need to build this up as well. We need to be aligned in doing our policy development and influencing. Plus, as I mentioned earlier, building up the staff capacity. How can we in the regions can we share expertise to be able to build up the capacity of all the staffs in the regions as well. Threats, I think this is common in Indonesia. We have, even though we have a local entity as of now, still we have an MOU with the government of Indonesia. And periodically there's still government interventions asking us this and that and so forth. We need to be able to manage this properly in the next 2 or 3 years. I think the last one is about the partners, the local NGO capacity. Doing environmental and conservation work in Indonesia for most local NGO is really something new. They don't have the capacity, and we need to build this as soon as possible to be able to, for us to be able to be more flexible in doing our work. This is the things that we see in Indonesia program, and this is why we have this strategic initiative in the middle, that to be focused on what we want to do. This strategic initiative is a continuation since the last 2 years. It's just really strengthening, enhancing on what we do previously. There is no new development on that. We just want to be sure that we are very focused on what we want to achieve. So, for example, we have the Yayasan, which is the local foundation. It was established in February. It's legal to operate now. And now the question is, how do we transition from the international NGO to the local entity? We have strict financial ratios that we achieved. It's also a continuation of the previous year. And the rest is just building up on the program management system, strengthening more on our partnership and alliances to make sure that we can leverage and capitalize what we have done on the ground. We have a new team in place. They're all here in Hong Kong now to build our fundraising platform in corporates, private philanthropies, as well as in cost-related marketing. So this is a really new initiative, something that has not been done before in Indonesia that we want to do going forward. And last but not least, number 8, I'm very much interested and passionate about this, is to develop market-led conservations. Because we see that in countries like Indonesia, where it is still developing, all our sites are very remote, and there's a lot of communities, very poor communities, and how do we able to, through our conservation work, how do we be able to build their capacity as well as their livelihood to help us protect and conserve what we do on the grounds. So this is something we want to build in the next 2 years, and we want to really, we think also this will help us create sustainability, not just for the programs, but also financial sustainability. Because as we talk to a lot of donors in the country, corporates and private individuals, they're all interested in this kind of initiative. I have 2 more slides just to share with you what are our goals for the next 5 years. These are our business goals. We want to be the top 5 top of mind in Indonesia. What does that mean? Everybody, when you ask our target markets, our target prospect, whether it is corporates, high net worth individuals, governments, media, TNC is one of the things they say, we are not yet there, but we have built an aggressive marketing and communication team. About a year and a half ago, we are hardly in the media. Now we have at least one to two articles in the media every day. Previously, our digital supporters is only less than 5,000 supporters. Now we have more than, I think, 90,000 supporters now, and we aim to be to double that in the next fiscal year to 200,000 plus. Conservation, the number 2 is the Center of Conservation Excellence. This is a center that we want to create to build capacity, not just within TNC, but our partners, our local NGOs as well. This is not something that we want to do alone. We are going to be partnering up and creating alliances with other NGOs like WWF, CI, but all the big NGOs and the big national NGOs that we want to create this center to be able to train people to do conservation. On conservation programs, there's going to be an expansion to palm oil, climate, strengthening our development by design and so forth. It's something on the pipeline. It's not something that we will jump and do immediately. There's a lot of things and process that we need to think before we start piloting the projects. The in-country revenue goals is quite ambitious, but this numbers is something by FY20. That's the numbers, the minimum numbers that the team will be achieving going forward. So we are building up the capacity, building up the team, and the board, our trustees, the board members, is also very engaged in helping us to achieve the revenue goals that we have identified, and they have agreed to these numbers. So we are all very excited that the board members, the Indonesia board, we have 15 of them. I would say 50% of them, about 7 to 8 of them, is very active in helping us to achieve our fundraising goals. Point 5 and 6 is really something that we need to do to be able to be financially sustainable. And endowment funds is critical to cover our costs in doing the business for conservation. That is something that is more of a long term, point 5 and 6, that we need to achieve doing that. On conservations, essentially, as I mentioned early in the slides, that the current program, the terrestrial, has achieved 2.9 million hectares of landscape to be managed effectively, and now they have agreed to a target of 10 million hectares over the next 5 years. The same thing goes for marine programs, from 5.5 million hectares of seascape to 10 million hectares of seascape to be managed sustainably. There are a lot of forest village that we want to influence to be able to support the 10 million hectares of landscape managed sustainably. We are going to be expanding our program not just in the district of Berau, but expanding to the whole of East Kalimantan, covering up to 6 to 7 districts. Plus, a new initiative that I showed in the map earlier, expanding to West Kalimantan and Sumatra. That's going to be our new districts, working with and through partners there. The fisheries program is still in the foundational stage. It just started in January last year. Essentially, it's about creating traceabilities, doing the data for stock management, and also influencing for policy reform towards right-based management in fisheries. We have a new minister in place, and she is very excited about this plan. We plan to meet her very soon, in the next month or two, to be able to push our strategies to the minister. I think this is all that I have to present. It's very high level, just to give you an idea of where we are, what we have done in the last 2 years, and the plan going forward in the next 5 years, which is quite bold and aspirational. And please provide us your feedback and input to strengthen the plan. Thank you.